And something to know is that state action networks do not exist in every state. It's an emergent strategy, as Adrienne Marie Brown would say. We really believe that there's an important role to play for representing our values at the state level. And so about half the states have them, and we're helping support other states as they start to grow them. But we go to the Capitol, we help get out the vote, we help represent our values in letters to the editor, in things we do behind the scenes, like accompanying people to get health care that they need, being there for people. There's a lot of ways. We're your state action network, and you are TXUUJM is an important thing to know. You are.
So my understanding is that you all are there on the ground in Austin in the legislature during the legislative sessions that happen every 2 years, and it's brutal. Brutal. Y'all know, but they are there and testifying and stuff. So please tell me something you're proud of that happened this year.
There is so much that we've done that I couldn't possibly tell you everything, but just some really basic things that you can rattle off when folks get discouraged about, because you'll hear almost nothing but bad news out of the legislature, right? But for the second legislative session in a row, we and our partners working for LGBTQ rights defeated 95% of the heinous bills that they brought forth. And I'm telling you, they brought over 200 bills this session. And the mobilization that it takes to defeat those bills is really huge. And we work in coalition, and we have a lot to be proud of. The ones that get through, we know that they're harmful, but we keep fighting those at the local level, in the courts. We have legal partners. There's a lot that we keep doing. But just imagine what would happen if you and your sibling UUs from around the state weren't speaking up at all. It's very, very important. And we have some big wins. We had wins on voting rights. We had wins on reproductive justice, wins on immigration. There's a lot that we were tackling this session. Sometimes at this level, the success is building the power over time. The people always want to know about the specific bills, but what I'm interested in is the power that we're building and the way we are showing up in the face of extremist white Christian nationalism to be a faith voice that everybody knows. Everybody knows the UUs. People are finding us all around the state because of the ways that we are showing up in the public square. People are finding support and care and communities like yours when they come to the Capitol and they see us. And they say, what is this? What kind of church is this? And we ask them where they're from, and they say Bryan or New Braunfels, or we say there is a congregation there that is waiting to embrace you and support you in this time. And so that, for me, is the biggest success, more than any one bill, that we are building presence and power that represents our values and really changes people's lives. So one thing you really need to know, people come up to us all the time, I'm so sorry I can't get to Austin, I just can't get to Austin. It's like, you don't need to get to Austin. Our purpose is to create opportunities for UUs to connect and build power across the miles, because actually they look at us, if we're just coming from, if we're just coming in Austin and they're not hearing from you back at home, like, oh, those people from Austin, right? They need to hear from you at home. So they need to hear from you in your letters to the editor, talking to your local folks, sending emails, making calls, and saying, I'm calling from Bryan. I'm calling from College Station. That matters so much. And so one thing that you can do is simply make sure that you're on our email list, which is at TXUUJM, as in Justice Ministry.org, so that when we have actions and opportunities and fun things like concerts at a congregation, you can receive those calls to action, because we just dearly need your voice. One of the things that we're really, it's funny to say this, but that we're really serious about at TXUUJM is joy and having fun. We believe that our faith calls us to be in justice work and in community together for not just my lifetime, generations upon generations upon generations. It's the work of being human to build the beloved community together. So we have to sustain ourselves. So we talked in our board retreat yesterday about the things that bring us joy, and when we get stressed, what we can do. We swam at the McCoy last night. It felt so good. So I take hope from the community that we have together. And I also take hope from our partners. One of TXUUJM's main roles is to have Unitarian Universalism as an active and willing partner with frontline organizations. Sometimes we are the only people of faith in a space. When it comes to immigrant rights, when it comes to trans rights, it could be voting rights, it could be working on getting air conditioning in prison or shutting down for-profit prisons. You know, we're sometimes the only faith space there. So that hope that we could be a bridge and bring faith into those places also is a real source of hope for me. I am a minister, and so I'm going to speak to those of you who may identify as progressive people of faith. Now, in Unitarian Universalism, that includes atheists, agnostics, Christians, Buddhists. We are a pluralistic, non-creedal denomination, and everyone is welcome if love and justice is in the heart of your faith. And I still believe in the separation of church and state above all else. And so what I need is for anyone else who has religious heritage or religion in their life to be loud and proudly claiming the mantle of people of faith to fight back against white supremacist, extremist, Christian nationalism. We need your voice. We need you. So when I started in this role 4 years ago, we had maybe 100 people at Legislative Action Day, and this year we had 210 Unitarian Universalists filling that rotunda. Reverend Kiya helped lead in the singing. It was incredible. You all are doing that. And so I want to thank everybody who's a donor, everybody who's made calls or emails, everyone who's come. And I hope you know that Reverend Kiya is on our board. And so I want to take a moment to thank your minister for their service and commitment to justice. Can we do that together? And I should say the legislature is not the only thing we do. If all we did was the legislature, it would take a lot more than a few songs to cheer us up. So we are also your partners in Get Out the Vote work during the electoral year. So the even years we're really focused on you the vote and the spiritual practice of getting the vote out in your community. And then in the odd years we go to the legislature. And then everything in between we do programs like trans inclusion and reproductive justice programs. And so there's a lot to learn. We are in it together.
How many congregations are now part of TXUUJM?
Wow, I think we had 38 congregations in our UU the Vote work last year. So we've grown from 20 to 38, or 19 to 38 over the last electoral cycle. Yeah, our board represents 12 different congregations, but you're not alone, right? Your siblings in Unitarian Universalism are out there across 40 states. When it feels like too much, please remember us and remember that we're in this together. So we are your UU member of Texas Impact. So I sit on the Leadership Council for Texas Impact, work with them. So we were partnered with them and some other congregations for the legislative day. Just Texas is the faith part of the Texas Freedom Network, which we are also very involved with. While we focus statewide, if there is an issue locally that's important to you and you could use your UUs from around the whole state making calls to your city council about or making calls to your school board about, we do that too. So
thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for everything you do. You rock.
You rock. Thank you for having us, UUCBV.